Okay, give me your favorite song that has to do with mystical love, unconditional love, higher love. Give me a higher love, Stevie Winwood, a sacred love by Sting. I know I'm going to miss a few. Share in the comments when you listen to some music that makes you think of holy love, divine love, sacred union, and enchantment, rainbows and unicorns. What songs do you guys think about? Because it is a week in which we're having a rare triple conjunction between Venus, Neptune, and the North Node. And I did the research, 1848 it happened, but not as perfect. It wasn't perfect. It was close, but not quite. So it is not a usual energy that we're encountering this week ahead. And it's mostly felt by you as we get toward the weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, bring me a higher love, or I can't sing the song by Sting, Sacred Love, but it's a hot, sexy song as well. But take your pick. We got some holy love, sacred love, higher love, divine love, unconditional love, but it's also good for your creativity, your imagination, your manifestation, your art, your fantasies, especially fantasies and dreams coming true only because of Saturn co-present in Pisces, where Venus exalted in the sign of Pisces, the North Node amplifying her goodness and her extending her amazingness in her sign of exaltation. And of course, we also have Neptune, that dreamy, vast, spacious planet that has been moving through Pisces since 2011, causing some delusion, illusion, conspiracies, and confusion. But in this case, this week ahead, Venus trumps everything here and bring something good. There is a qualifier, and I'm going to share with you something that might be a pertinence called a malefic enclosure. And if that is true, it means that even though what I'm saying is fantastico, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it really is on the 2nd, which I believe might be Sunday or Monday, that it breaks through into sort of like a chorus, like the hills are alive with the sound of music, or some kind of, angels are coming down from the heavens kind of musical ensemble. So we're going to talk about it. Now, we talk about Venus, we talk about love. We talk about Venus, we talk about beauty, art, and peace. We talk about friendship. We talk about money as well, but certainly peace. And as I record this video for you on January the 22nd, we're doing the all signs. This is not going to be world astrology. Starting in February, my world astrology moves to What in the World Wednesdays. But it would be remiss of me not to address the temporary ceasefire in Israel that's ongoing as we speak, in the Middle East, in Gaza, Israel. Although there are some chaos, there's chaos going on the West Bank right now. And whether or not this is going to be good or bad for that. And what I've said earlier, and I'll say it again, I've said it in several videos already, there's like that enclosure of Venus between Saturn, rules, regulations, hardship, boundaries. Pisces, by the way, lands that border the water, like the Gaza Strip, and then the North Node, which is a malefic. I mean, I know we all love the North. Evolutionary astrology, let's get down with our soul's highest mission and discard the South Node or something like that. Yes, there's validity there, but it's also a part of the sky that we want to attain some worldly success, and it takes things to extreme. It can volume things up, and surely in Hellenistic astrology, voluming up Venus is a good thing. And volume up Mars is a bad thing, right? So the nodes can create intensity around whatever they touch as well. So the war in the Middle East began October the 7th, and that was when the South Node and Mars were combining forces in Libra, the sign of the ascendant of Israel. Not auspicious either, because the South Node indicates overall an unlikelihood to win at the game of war and what they are attempting to achieve. So, because you must surrender, let go. It's about loss, not about winning, not a North Node transit that started that war, but rather a South Node transit. So let's talk about a general thought I have, and I'm going to show you the sky, and we're only going to do your sign. We won't be here long today, maybe about an hour. I just want to say you're alive to live through it. You've never seen this before, but when it comes to the world and when it comes to this kind of sky, I feel like Venus being stuck between Saturn and the North Node could indicate a piece of time, which actually started on February 20th or around the 20th. She got wedged between the malefics, and some hostages have been released, and which is a good thing. But I doubt that this peace will last. The ceasefire will be disrupted. The ceasefire will not endure. So far, it is actually the Israeli side that has breached the terms of the ceasefire by engaging. But I'm just saying, it literally It's doubtful with this squishy Venus situation that it will last, and Venus will be enclosed between Saturn and the North Node yet again the first 7 days of April, and one more time on the 24th of April. And all of this malefic enclosure can be difficult for sure for people who have Pisces placements. And you'll find moments of breakthrough, though, moments of whoo, when she gets out of her straitjacket. I'll be teaching a class on doing this Venus retrograde and understanding it about the word liberation or liberate. So I'll call the class Liberate, and how Venus can break you free to understand what you truly desire, what you truly want, what truly brings goodness to your life. And we're going to talk about more about that class once the enrollment page is up, but it'll be starting March 1st. But there's a wait list for early bird discounts, and it's only going to be like a $40 class anyway, 6 live calls with me. So check it out and down below. But where I'm really going with this is that it is an experiment. What I want to always tell people is that astrology is an empirical science or pattern recognition. You have a hypothesis and you ask yourself, is this true or not? And so is it true that when Venus is stuck between a rock and a hard place, that peace is hard to come by? That's a thought I have. We'll see if it's actually true or it's just in my imagination. All right. So what about Venus? What happens when Venus and Neptune get together, and what is a Sabian symbol? Okay, so they're joining forces together. I'll show you the sky in a minute at 28 degrees of the sign of Pisces. Obviously, all you Pisces are really getting a once in a lifetime event. Indeed, we all are, but Pisces, sun, moon, and rising folk feel it very powerfully, as well as the signs angular, which are the Virgo, sun, moon, and rising, Sag, sun, moon, and rising, and of course, the Gemini, sun, moon, and rising. This is all going to be activating you very strongly, especially if your sun, moon, and rising and all of these signs I've mentioned is between 25 and 29 degrees of Pisces, Sag, Gemini, Virgo. You're going to feel it like, holy man. And you water signs, Cancer and Scorpio, especially 20 to 25, but you all feel it. This is going to feel like a flow and a glow and a beautiful, yay, I'm riding the wave of whatever this thing is. And you're not minding it one bit at all. You're like, this is a great ride. Similarly, the Taurus is like it because they have a sextile relationship to the Pisces sky, and they're like, bring it on. So Taurus is take a ride, enjoy the ride. And of course, the other sextile part of the sky, which is the sign, 2 signs before Pisces, are Capricorns. And you guys also are having a blast. All right. So, and there are signs that get sort of like that's interesting. That's good. I'll be talking about that. Those are the signs in conjuncts or semi-sextiles. We'll get to that when we get to the signs. The Sabian symbol for 28 degrees, where the North Node, Venus, and Neptune are all combining forces, okay, is important to talk about. It's called a prism. The rarity of this event, by the way, is not that Venus is connecting with the North Node. No. She does that somewhat regularly when we have eclipse seasons through Pisces and Virgo. In fact, the last time Venus co-joined the North Node in Pisces was in February and March of 1988. So February of 1988, March of 1980. Oh, so sorry, was in February of 2007. So February 13th, 2007, Venus and Pisces joined the North Node in Pisces, right? Because we're talking about eclipse cycles. So we had eclipses back here in 2007 throughout the North Node eclipses throughout the sign of Pisces. Then we also had eclipses in 88, 89, and then in February of 88 and March of 89, Venus joined the North Node in Pisces. And then in February of 1970 as well, and going back every 18 years. So that's not the super rare part. It's trying to get Neptune and Venus and the North Node all together. And when I did my research today, the closest I got was 1858, and it's not a perfect triple conjunction. The North Node is there, and I'll show it to you, but not perfect. So imagine this. You decided to live here until this time and experience this thing. And by the way, I forgot to introduce myself. Lori Lothian, Western Tropical Zodiac, whole sign houses, fixed stars, and minor asteroids are my specialty. And my 2025 all signs bundle might be on sale by the time you see this on Monday. Yeah, a few more days. If you want to get the all signs bundle or individual sign videos are in my description box below. 2-hour videos and a PDF guidebook, all for you on your sign for 2025. Those are not public. Those are for sale. So I don't know what this is. It speaks to me of rainbows and unicorns. It speaks to magic and mystery. It speaks to spiritual attainment and highest levels of loving compassion of some sort. just the Venus Neptune without the North Node amplifying it speaks to that. And then destined to intersections regarding beauty, love, peace, kindness, friendship, harmony. I'm going to read from Renn Butler's The Archetypal Universe, but remember, the Sabian symbol is a prism. And you know what a prism is, right? White light refracts, like the rainbow is white light refracting into the hues of the rainbow, which actually correlate to the colors of the chakras, right? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, lavender. So it's interesting to see that we literally know that we experience prismatic reality through the fracturing of the one into the many, hues of God, hues of the divine. It's literally taking us back to the question mark, what's reality made out of? Because there's one light that becomes many lights. And so keep that in mind. So a prism is a Sabian. I'm not going to read all the delineations today of what different authors say about it. I think the image of a prism is evocative. If you don't know what a Sabian symbol is, and I recommend Diana E. Roche's Sabian Symbols, A Screen of Prophecy book. It's in my description box below the video to learn more about that book. It was a woman named Elsie Wheeler channeling these like Zen cone, like 4 or 5 lines for each of the 360 degrees of the wheel of the zodiac. So every degree, like you're born and you might have like my moon on the crystal ball gazer in the 3rd house of scrying and divining. Can't make that stuff up, right? So you'll find these Sabian symbols can be really evocative of parts of your life. Remember to always round up. Okay, always round up by 1. My moon is at 7 degrees and it rounds up to the 8th degree Sabian symbol. All right, so one thing I want to talk about in this book by Renn Butler is what he says about when you blend the archetypal energy of Venus and Neptune together. So he says a sweet, and there's a shadow to everything, especially in a conjunction, a sweet and sensitive nature, endearing gentleness and grace, spiritual ideals and love and friendships, feelings of melted ecstasy and devotion for the beloved. And the beloved, it can be your pet, your person, or the divine. To me, Neptune, Venus is all of the poetry of Rumi. Beyond right doing and wrongdoing is a field. I will meet you there. Can we not use a little more of that in our life? How about another good old Rumi? Stop playing small. You're the universe in ecstatic motion. All of Rumi and all of Hafiz, these are poetries to the beloved, and they're the energy of a Venus art, Neptune expanded consciousness, universal consciousness type of material. Maria Mahesh Yogi, the dude from the 60s, had a thing. The enlightenment has 3 types, witness consciousing, like you're like a robot looking at life, like you're witnessing it happening, you're not really a part of it. Then there's God consciousness. I am everything. I think that's how that one goes. And then there's unity consciousness. I am everything and nothing. And there's no doer and doing happens, something like that. But I think that the Venus Neptune is pretty darn cool. It could be like what the Maharishi, I can't speak today, the yogi guy from the 60s with the ashram in India, and the Beatles were with him. It might be what he would call the Venus Neptune for God consciousness. To me, it's that kind of vibe, but who knows, right? So we all have a little bit of that. And if I keep going with Renn Butler, what about some shadow qualities of Neptune and Venus? Vulnerability, codependence, romantic illusions, confusions, deception, over-idealization in relationships, and disappointment that results. And he's got a quote from Nietzsche, the philosopher, the nihilist. In true love, it is the soul that envelops the body. In true love, it is the soul that envelops the body. And then you got the Brian Wilson, a song, I guess, the lyric, God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without you. You know what? That's the shadow side, right? Because you're in the shadow of this person's perfect. But also that other thought I had is, that Elizabeth Barrett Browning poem? I think that's this. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways to the depths and breadths and heights my soul can reach, and on and on and on. This exalted love poem. And so there's that vibe, there's that vibration as well. So I'm going to show you the sky. I'm going to take you, have a little peekaboo here at, and by the way, he talks about songbirds, like delicate butterflies, gentle flowers, exotic rainbows, sacred, soothing oceanic sounds, Gregorian chants, love songs, tender harmonies, a beautiful imagination, and cinema, of course, because Cinema is Neptune. Neptune rules moving imagery that appears real, photography, cinematic stuff, movie industry. And Venus, of course, is exalted here. And the North Node boosts her up quite a way. Now, the week ahead isn't just about this. Of course, we have on Wednesday, the 29th, we're going to have an Aquarius new moon. But I put a video out about the Aquarius new moon for all signs last Thursday. So go watch that one instead of me repeating it. And the day before this video, Sunday, all my all signs videos came out for each sign for the month of February. So go check that out as well. So we're not going to cover every little minutia of this week ahead. We're going to cover the exciting part. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Venus is exalted and she's with the North Node and Neptune. And we haven't seen that since 1858. And we're not going to be here long because I'm not doing any long like video stuff about world economy, politics and shit like that. Excuse my language. Now, here's a picture of the sky. I want to show you something on the outside wheel. So here we have, let me just go back. Okay, here we have the sky back in 1858. And you can see that Venus and the Neptune co-joined at 22 degrees of Pisces, and the North Node was at 17 degrees of Pisces. So keep that image in mind. See that even Mercury was there, and the Sun met what was going on in March of 1858. And at the time, you had Saturn over here flowing from the sign of his debility. Now we have Mars in Cancer flowing from the same place. And we had Mars flowing as well from a water sign. So we had Mars in a water sign last time, but the skies are always different. Nothing is ever the same. Look at Pluto and Taurus. Those were the days. Jupiter and Taurus, Uranus and Taurus. Those were the days. Now, some of you might know, and some of you might not know, that the 1850s, beginning in the 1850s and all throughout, really 1878 to 1876 to 1896, there were the famous wave of airship sightings or UFO-like sightings in the sky. And I'm only bringing that up because there was also stuff all through the 1850s. And in essence, I think this whole energy that we're seeing here is reminding me of the now. Yeah, so like I got a bit of a now going on with this story, okay? So keep in mind that eventually Neptune caught up to Pluto here and ended up in a conjunction, and that turned into to me, UFO vibes, but let's not get sidetracked. I don't want to do that right now. Let's talk about the now. So let's go back from this sky and into the now sky, and we're going to do your sign, but I want you to see what it looks like. And I want to show you what I think this malefic enclosure is. Now, I haven't heard a lot of astrologers talking about this because you have to be more of a ancient Hellenistic traditional astrologer to consider this as a concept. But the idea is if a good planet gets stuck between two difficult planets, it's enclosed, she's enclosed, it's enclosed, whatever, and in that regard, oh, I'm not even showing you the sky. I thought I was. Oh my God. You're like, what? Where's the share? Oh my goodness. So I lost the 1858 chart. Let's see if I can pick it back up. 1858? Yeah, I saved it. Okay. So back in 1858, and it wasn't January 30th, it was, now I lost where it was supposed to be. So now I'll stop the share. We're in 1858, but it wasn't January, it was March. So let's go ahead to March. Nope. There you go. See. All right. So guys, now you see it. Sorry about that. I don't know why I thought the share was working. I didn't stop the recording, did I? No. All right. So there you have it. There you see Venus and Neptune. They will be together at 22 degrees. Okay. Just trust me that they will be together at 22 degrees. And this is the North Node at 17. So it was not a perfect conjunction. It was not a perfect conjunction. And there I was talking about Pluto and Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus. And I was talking about Mars and Scorpio and Saturn and Cancer. Sorry about that. So let's go back. Let's get away from that story and move into the now again. Okay. So now we're going to begin the beginning of next week. Let's go through it. And I should pin the Aries wheel here. So let's go pin it. So Aries holds solid. Okay, edit chart. There's something with this software that when you redo a chart, it doesn't let you fix the thing that I want to pin Aries to the zodiac. Thank you, universe. Okay, so pay attention. I'm sorry, I'm a little all over the place getting this out to you, but I'm back in 1858. How did that even happen? Okay. So here we have January 22nd, the day I'm recording. My Patreon community gets this early access ad free. Check it out for $5 a month and a bunch of meetings with me. This is what's happening. Now I'm going to move us forward in time to get to Monday, because that's what this video is for. And on Monday, we can see Saturn, Venus, Neptune, and the North Node are all piling up together in Pisces. And at the end of February, we have a stellium of massive proportion where a giant amount of the sky is all wedged into Pisces. But we'll cover that when we get to that week. And you'll see that Venus at 24 degrees on Monday is stuck between Saturn and Neptune. And to me, this is a bit of the rock in the hard place vibration. And if I'm going to do a kind of overview of the week, you might feel emotionally turbulent on Monday. That is just because on Monday, the 27th, there is this Mars opposition to the moon. And that's difficult emotional energy. And they're both in a square to Chiron. And the wounded Chironic Aries part of your sky and the Capricorn part of your sky and the Mars Cancer may all be activated in a kind of like a grinding, crunching feeling on Monday. You might be going, ow, this hurts. And it could hurt about so many things. I don't want to delineate that. It's a very fleeting energy because the moon is moving quickly, but look for a sense of some kind of wound that feels like it got a little bit elbowed, a little bit salt in the wound, a little bit ground into a bit. And it could be about your emotions and defending your emotional territory against some kind of wound. Now, I want to keep taking us to the important part of the sky, and we're going to keep moving forward. When we get to the 29th, which is a Wednesday, we're going to be having the new moon in Aquarius. That's actually at 9 degrees of Aquarius when it's perfect. And it gets a lot of support from Jupiter. And that makes this a rather blessed moon, actually, rather than a super difficult moon, as he's generally sending good rays and beams to the sky. And if you haven't watched that video yet, that came out last Thursday, please go take a look at it. Yet for world events, we have some gnarly asteroids: Apophis, the world destroyer; Icarus, the one who falls from the sky; the cupbearer Ganymede, that tastes the poisons for the king Zeus. So there's a lot of interesting darker sides for world events connected to the moon last Thursday that I did the video on, but it is happening on Wednesday. But because you're just a person, not a king, this can be very powerful and positive energy, that this moon opens up a deep channel of goodness between Jupiter's travels through your third house, through your Gemini sky, your whole sign Gemini sky, and through your Aquarius sky. And we're going to get to this malefic enclosure. Now she's at 25 degrees, wedged between Saturn and the North Node. Neptune's also enclosed, but Neptune's a transpersonal giant, so I don't know that it's the same story. I'm sorry. I had to answer the phone because I was expecting a call from a place I'm going to be visiting, like a hotel, and it wasn't them. I thought it was because I didn't recognize the number. And it was a nature conservatory or conservancy or something in Canada. I donated that as a charity. I have only one other charity I didn't donate to, which is it's for children around the world and helping them with health and education. I've been a donor to that Care Canada kind of thing for like 25 years. I always have a charity. I hope you all have a charity. And I also have a charity when I feel called to move into a charity. I donate to people's GoFundMes and stuff when there's some calamitous event in their life. So isn't that funny? Because it's a synchronicity, and that's why I'm stopping to talk to you. You see, Neptune in Pisces is the disadvantaged, the underprivileged, and the underserved, the refugees, the homeless guy on the street, the person who's down and out and just needs a hand, someone to lift them up. So maybe we can do that for each other now and then. When I walk by a homeless guy, I usually ask, what can I get you? Do you need some food? Can I get you some coffee? Sure, I can give them some money. I do too, that, because the money they use is also sometimes for a bed at night in one of our shelters. But the charitable aspect of our being comes out of the Pisces part of our sky. And in that regards, please be charitable. There's a lot of, I told a girlfriend the other day, there's a deficit of kindness in the world. It's huge right now. Everybody's so mean. Everybody's so angry. Everybody's so polarized. It's really, really out of control. And mean is just mean, like mean to other people online, mean to your friends, but mean online a lot of trolls, but a lot of anger out there. Anyway, be charitable, be kind. Try and be charitable for real. So that was my newest charity that I decided to jump in and help conserve land in Canada, not at the expense of getting some oil and gas out of the earth. I believe in that too. I'm a realist, we gotta live until we find the 0 point energy form of energy, which we haven't yet, or we haven't. It's been buried, right? Could God forbid we interrupt the oil industry. But I'm just saying, it's good to preserve a little of the nature that we have for the future. So having a national park, that's a great idea. So anyway, let's get rolling and keep talking about this guy. So I mean, seriously, a charitable institution calls me when I'm talking about Neptune and Venus and Saturn and the North Node in the sign of charitability. All right. It's also a martyr savior place where you're going to have people doing martyr savior things. That's also good for conspiracy theories all over the map. One of the things I want to say, I don't think we're going to be totally in conspiracy land these days, but Venus keeps hitting Neptune up, and getting enclosed between Saturn first week of April and again the third week of April for a couple of days, like the 23rd, 24th. And those could be escalations of conspiracy theory, but it's also, illusion, delusion, deception, and manipulation anytime you see Neptune in there. So be careful. Just before the president was inaugurated, the new president, there was a lot of conspiracy chatter amongst very democratic astrology and tarot channels, vowing to their followers that this wasn't going to happen. There was going to be like, oh my God, the moving trucks weren't there, or oh my God, Joe Biden's going to suddenly swoop in and fix the problem. And, it kept going on, right? Like, it's all based on a kind of conspiratorial idea that the election was stolen. Now, doesn't that sound a lot like Donald Trump's own shtick, all over again? So there's all this kind of conspiracy stuff. Now, one thing I do like about this in terms of conspiracy theories, not all conspiracy theories are wrong. And so I would add to that, what about JFK, RFK, and Martin Luther King's assassinations becoming disclosed with this energy? I think that could happen. I think it could happen because the new president has said he's going to do that. He's promised to do that. And I'm losing my thread because with the phone ringing, I'm hoping I restarted this video in the right time, like I actually restarted the thing. All right. So, okay. So let's go ahead. Yeah. So, the conspiracies can be true, right? Conspiracies can be true. And Donald Trump says he's going to release, classified materials into the public so that everyone knows what really happened. Maybe Venus Beseech is where that material doesn't get released. He is stuck and he can't get it pried open and the deep state won't listen to him. But on the other hand, maybe it is going to be breaking free. So I'll share with that the sky again. Sorry, guys. I'm a little bit like all over the map. I apologize. I'm packing for my trip to go away and I'm always a nervous Nelly traveler. My suitcase is usually packed 5 days in advance and I'm only 2 days in advance now. So Venus is still stuck here. Now I want you to watch what she's doing, right? She's at 25 degrees. She's still between the rock and the hard place. She may be feeling ill at ease, right? And we keep moving her forward. Like she wants to bust out world peace, please. Disclosures of hidden CIA documents on assassinations, please. Bust me out for higher love and true love and beauty and passion and good things, please, But there's still a little bit of that constriction. And she would rather, I think, be having a blast. Venus is going to cross into this triple conjunction on February 1st, which is Saturday. North Node, Venus, and the Moon. And as she hits the North Node, she moves past the 9th degree here, and she's out of the malefic enclosure. And if we really wanted to be specific about it, let's take it down to the minute. Because as soon as she gets out of that by minute, not degree, she's free. I'm free, she says, of the North Node and Saturn binding me. Oh, let me see when it's exact. She's kind of out of the malefic enclosure here. Other side of the North Node, around February 1st, Saturday, February 1st, at around 3 p.m. Los Angeles time, Vancouver, Canada time. Okay, just for your time zone. And this is going to be a Saturday. Now, it's funny, I'm taking a trip to Mexico with a girlfriend, and I'm worried about this malefic enclosure because it's hardship with friendships, feeling constrained and stuck with the friendship. And I'm worried about that because I just discovered I'm pretty sure because I test on all the tests, including the hundreds and hundreds of questions that I test high for being on the ASD spectrum, or you can say I'm neurodivergent or something, but that much time in a one bedroom place like sharing the same room and bedroom and king size bed, maybe overtaxing my system. And I wasn't thinking about that when I booked the trip 2 months ago. And I wasn't maybe being realistic. So there's an example of like a friendship, a love story, a money story, a beauty story could feel constricted. So if you're a Pisces rising, don't get your hair cut during a malefic enclosure. You might not like the result, or, it might turn out to be not the haircut for you. As she moves on, though, now we see that Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it's a hallelujah. She's going to be okay. She's free. Got to be free, she says. And she's there until there's Monday. And then on Tuesday, she's going to dip into Aries. Now, for each of you, I'm going to say the simple thing. Where after a time of perhaps feeling hopeful and wanting something good to happen, but you're constrained in love and beauty and friendship, in kindness and charitability and conspiracy information releases, are you going to find a breakthrough? And this is going to be simple, short, and sweet, because I'm doing a founding members Substack meeting on Pluto shortly after this. Okay. We're going to start with Aries, sun, moon, and rising, because we're on your sign anyway. And we're going to talk about what goes on here. So really, February, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Venus is like busting out of your 12th house of foreign shores, foreign lands, and far off places. You can be constrained around foreign people, foreign travel, foreign money, and international revenue, especially if you work online, or like me, you make money internationally. And there's just a sense of hardship or constriction. Now, to be really practical, or a time off, because I'm going to be in Mexico and I'm not going to be working almost at all. I'm going to do my very bare minimum to do anything for a whole 7 days. And it's all of those days until we get to Saturday, Sunday, Monday, that she's enclosed. So maybe I'm just not doing much, right? So there's that kind of vibe that you can consider. Maybe it's just a timeout corner for Venus. But when it comes to your 12th house, it's also a deeply spiritual moksha liberation house, to find God, to find the unity consciousness, the oneness of all things, to understand the full liberation of from the matrix. And Venus being very much a planet of what you desire, and Neptune being the vast, spacious, oceanic consciousness. If you desire this, go for it. It's also a house where your solitude, imagination, and dreams are indicating a place of focus. And so you might be having a kind of a deeper dive into what you really want in life, what your true desires are for a spiritual path, for a deeper meaning in life. It does, look at the 9th house. It's a timeout corner, and it's about solitude. And maybe you're feeling solitude is what you want, but maybe all of a sudden solitude doesn't feel so great after all. It's also a house of hospitals. And I can't discount the fact that it could be literal, that some of you might be spending some time sort of between a rock and a hard place on a hospital gurney. I hope not. Or somebody or somebody and then it breaks free, and it's a really good feeling. And Venus exalts the whole storyline with a happy ending full of hills are alive, rainbows and unicorns, break through and break free. And that is going to feel good on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And the Lord of your sign, Mars, is flowing in a beautiful way toward this malefic enclosure and breakthrough Venus. And so in a way, Mars is saying yes. And if you have any childhood issues that you have not resolved from your childhood, you could have some deep ancestral wound healing and breakthroughs about childhood issues during the week ahead, with a breakthrough energy Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Let's move the charts into the whole sign house system so that I'm moving this around properly. I did not sleep well last night. My daughter had a sleepover with me, and she's like mauling me all night long. Like she kicks, her leg at me, her knees in my back. Oh my God. Kids. She's an adult, but we sometimes have mother-daughter nights. Okay. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign. So basically, after a time of constriction in your 11th house of friends, allies, benefactors, and career gains, and colleagues, and some of your long-range dreams and goals, after feeling bound or constrained and maybe working hard, Saturn, and trying to find the joy or pleasure in this, you're going to feel a bust out energy on the weekend. You'll start to feel it Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Now, you're not working. I get that. So it's not like I'm saying that. Most people don't work on the weekend. Some of you do. But my daughter was just complaining about her work. She's a Taurus sun. And I bet you any money, something's going to break through on Friday, right? A little turning point at the workplace. And then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, feel elated. So you could have a shift in your position, a higher level on, what do you call it, upgrade, promotion. You might get a little bit more money. You might have a really good feedback from your colleagues or coworkers. Something good is trying to happen up there, but you have to kind of let it wind down into the freedom, because this malefic enclosure has been active since the 20th of, remember, the 20th, and we haven't had this triple conjunction since 1858. I hope you listened to the intro. So this is exciting. And sure, you've had Venus connecting here, back in 2007 and 88, 89. Okay, there were some comparisons, right? 88, 89. I can give you a story, but it doesn't really matter. I'm not a Taurus, but think about it all. Feel it into it, right? What's going on here? As an Aries sun in 88, 89, this was also a time when I think it reminds me when I was traveling to Egypt. But anyway, I doth digress. There you go, ADD plus ASD. Friendships could feel hard until she breaks free. Maybe you're not getting along with your friends or your social groups. Maybe you feel constricted or constrained. Maybe their company is not pleasing to you as you would like. And then all of a sudden there's a breakthrough energy with some particular friend or ally or some kind of connection to a group of belonging. And you can feel, oh my God, thank God. Now, who knows what the breakthrough looks like? Maybe you quit the club. Maybe you leave that friendship behind. Maybe Venus says, see you later. I don't really like this anymore. But maybe it's also just a breakthrough and a healing of some kind of friendship intensity of some sort. And certainly, Jupiter's witnessing it. It is his house. He's witnessing it from your second house, and Venus is the lord of your sign as well. So, she's like, Jupiter and Venus are trying to work it out for you. And with Jupiter in the money house, some of it definitely has to do with finances. So I'm hoping for some of you that this is like a little bit of a perk in your financial well-being from your career path after a time of constraint, like a bonus payment or some kind of recognition at work. All right, so Gemini, sun, moon, and rising sign. It is going to look like this once in a lifetime, not seen since 1858, triple conjunction of Venus and Neptune in the North Node in your 10th house of career. May feel, as this whole week goes on, like you want to have joy, fun, pleasure, and play, or success in your career, because that's what Venus will give you, or being well received by your colleagues or your audience or whatever, just getting a good glow up in your career. Exalted Venus travels here once a year, but not with the North Node and not with Neptune. And so got to go back to 1858. And this energy is Venus getting a little bit congealed, right, between Saturn and Neptune and feeling stuck. I apologize about that. And not knowing how to get out of the constriction until Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, especially Saturday, Sunday, right? She really breaks free on Saturday, but the launch pad is on Friday. So something may be going on that just you suddenly soar out of this constriction. And I can relate to that a little bit. I have a progressed Gemini sun. I'm working hard to get a lot of videos done before I go to Mexico, so I don't have to rely on the Wi-Fi speed for uploads. And I don't want to really work on a beach, do you? And so I think it's because I'm leaving. I'll be in Mexico waking up on Saturday and Sunday and Monday going, I'm free. Yay, this feels so good. Hallelujah. That kind of vibe. You might find that you need, with this energy, to ask yourself about what values you have about your work. What are your values about your work? What do you care about the most? What is your true pleasure in work? Because Venus is always asking those kinds of questions. What do you desire? What brings you pleasure? What do you really want to have here? And so there could be some breakthrough ahas, because Neptune is that visionary imagination. And you could have some breakthrough moments of insight into what it is you actually want in your career space as we move into that end of the week storyline. So don't get stuck in one thing, because that's what she looks like she's doing. You might have a new vision, a new dream, a new imagination about what it is you want. And that's really lovely on February 1st, which is Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Cancer, sun, moon, and rising sign. Now, first of all, the energy up here, this Venus transit with the North Node and Neptune, remember, hasn't happened since 1858. Not the three of them touching like this, especially not exactly. And it means that as the week begins, like on Monday, you're maybe feeling that things are stuck or hard or difficult and it's connected to the ninth house. And the ninth house has to do with like feeling the meaning of life or the purpose of life or your true north. But on a very mundane level, stuck in a legal problem with the court, a bureaucratic red tape, stuck in a university academic essay writing challenge or something wrong with that, stuck in a situation to do with visas, passports, or even foreign travel. Places of the ninth house are often very spiritual too, and you might be having a crisis of faith. It's the house of God in the ancient tradition. And so now you're going to bust out of this kind of existential crisis of faith, if you're having one, as Venus busts away from this enclosure on the February 1st, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and you kind of get a freeing and enlivening feeling. With Mars in your first house looking at this whole shebang, it's a big deal because it's going to allow you to make some decisions and take some actions on this new faith and belief or alignment and clarity around your purpose. Now, don't forget, she gets kind of stuck back here again the first week of April and April 24th in a similar type enclosure. So it's not quite over yet, but this is the first time you were working with it and you're going to break free from it. You definitely want to check out my Venus course, all of you, because it'll help you navigate this with greater guidance from me. And lastly, sometimes we get like advisors in the ninth house, mentors, coaches, and guides, teachers showing up in our lives. And if you already have one of those types, maybe you're finding them gnarly. You know what I mean? Like my guru was telling me enlightenment will never happen in this life. My teacher, guide, coach, life coach, whatever, is like acting like a biatch. And you might be struggling with that. And then boom, we break free or through or from that hardship. Same with a legal thing in a court and a judgment with a court, breaking free and into some success. Leo, sun, moon, and rising, it looks to me like you have this like chunky stellium forming in your eighth house, and that is chunky money. And this is money you don't earn. Like, it's just simple. Like, is it tax rebate? Is it shared with the bank? Is it a mortgage? Monies, you get to buy a house, you share it with the bank, right? Same with shareholders in companies, and you buy shares, or inheritances, or spousal shared resources, including separation of monies when you divorce and support from a husband or wife, all of that stuff. So that kind of income, money, shared assets is in your eighth house. And now there's a constriction, Leo. You feel stuck. Now, it's interesting because there's other meanings there. The eighth house can be a secret love affair and you feel bound now. You don't want to be the mistress anymore or the mister on the sideline, right? Or there's some kind of constriction around the word secret love or love affair, or who knows who's having the secret love affair. Could it be your person? I don't know. Or things to do with the occult mysteries. Things to do with like, studying tarot and you're finding it overwhelming. But the energy here is definitely something about a constriction on Monday through to, actually started February 20th, but Monday through to Monday the 27th through to Saturday, February 1st. And on February 1st, all of a sudden, and second, Sunday and Monday, things begin to completely liberate and feel like freedom. And Venus is like, I got this. And some destined change is going to try to happen with how you handle eighth house matters, that kind of money, that kind of spiritual quest for knowledge that's hidden in paranormal and occult knowledge, right? I can't help it. Venus does secret hidden love affairs in the eighth house. So if there's some kind of love affair that's under wraps, hidden from the public view, or that you or your person is engaging in, I don't know, it could feel like there's a breakthrough or some liberation from that situation coming into this weekend ahead. Oh, let me go back to you, Leos. I'm sorry. Time stamping sister catch wave. I just wanted to add something. You do have some testimony here from Jupiter and from Mars. And so I would say that Mars would get you to go deeper into your solitude and enjoy some eighth house things, some, actions and decisions being made alone in your home about money or occult mysteries or spiritual questing. But also Jupiter is literally the guy who says, I got your back and it's all going to work out. And he's doing that from the house of friendships and elder sibling, one above you. So look to friendships and the sibling one above you to see if that can't be a place of support or help for you. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising sign. This is a marriage house or business partners or clients and audience and marketplace. And your marriage is like long-term committed love. Okay. I'm going to stop the share and I'll be right back. I'm back. All right. So back to the screen. And I hope I'm not going too fast for you guys, but I'd rather get it done than not. So watch out for relationship stress, basically. And that relationship, your business partner, your clients, your husband, your wife, that stress is there. It feels like things are trying to happen or they're stressed out. They're having a difficult time. It's nothing to do with you. And you're trying to help them get through it. But where the breakthrough comes is definitely a piece of relief. The hills are alive with the sound of music and all is well. And you'll feel that coming through on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And if there's a legal contract or negotiation that gets stuck, especially regarding career and work matters, that can also break through for you in a very positive way in the work environment with support from Jupiter. But you're waiting for the weekend, like for some reason, Fridays is kind of gnarly, then Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday even is a breakthrough energy. So if agreements around work situations or client situations are stuck or sticky, there's definitely a nice breakthrough here. And also Mars is supporting as well. And Mars says, is there things that are going on in October in your primary love relationship that feel sticky or stuck in this week ahead? And then you get through to the weekend and things begin to feel a lot better. So hang in there and see how it goes. And if you don't have a relationship, well, I don't know if I want to meet somebody under a malefic enclosure of Venus, but when she breaks through and free, then Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of vibe. Yeah, go out on a few dates, go on the town, meet somebody, allow yourself to go into open curiosity about the potential of a new love story. Libra, sun, moon, and rising. So there's a malefic constriction going on. Venus is kind of stuck here in your 6th house, but don't forget that triple conjunction as she breaks through is going to be important. It's going to be a very rare kind of enchanted rainbows and unicorns feeling as you get towards that Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It hasn't happened since 1858 if you listen to the intro. And your 6th house is what we're talking about. This is your work house. This is your pets. This is your things you do regarding your daily routines around health and work matters and work routines. Sometimes it could be a health problem that's bogging you down, and Venus wants to have, solutions, and she wants to help repair things. She's a benefic and nothing's working, and then bang, or you just have a virus or something and you break free and you're feeling better, basically, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. When it comes to work environments that feel constrictive, difficult, or hard, the same thing. Things begin to clear on the weekend into Monday, and you are out of the harm's way, or a challenge with a pet and their situation. Sometimes rental properties belong to the 5th house, and Mars is a ruler of the land and property. So any situations with a rental property as a tenant or a landlord that feel constrained or stuck can break through as well. And so it could be as simple as trying to find a perfect piece of furniture for your place, honestly, and boom, you find the perfect piece of furniture on the weekend. But it's got a mystical side to it, so allow yourself to experience some of that as well. Jupiter is supporting you from the 9th house of purpose, so align your work with your purpose. Some of you might want to quit your job yesterday already. You're working way too hard, but don't worry. There's a kind of a feeling that the hard work that you're doing, Mars, it's like you're working hard like you were in October. Mars is retrograde to October timeframe. You can break free and through on the weekend into Monday, and maybe that's because you're going to get an award, a recognition, or the load in your work is lightening up for some reason. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign. What do you do with this? This is your love life, and this is Venus in her joy, in the house of romantic love, in the house of her joy. She loves being here. She wants to bring you joy, pleasure, fun, and play. She wants you to be revelry in your, ecstatic bliss of life and fun. And it's like kind of like the happiest place you can have her exalted. Scorpios, when you guys get creative, artistic, romantic, or you pursue your pleasures, you know where to go. You're good at this stuff. And now it's a fertility transit too, like trying to get pregnant. And so you or your partner trying to get pregnant. Now that could be like, no success, bang, the pregnancy test turns out positive, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Something has been constrained here, stuck, maybe since February 20th. You haven't felt the joy. Your creativity feels hard. Your romance and pleasure feel hard. Your fun and play are really, missing in action. But you're in a destined wave of change with the North Node. You know you're here to expand into having that baby, creating that creative project, starting an entrepreneurial business, finding your joy, and yet you got a little constriction. Last seen in 1850 was a malefic enclosure between Venus and the North Node like this. And, 1858, you're really going to feel like something about exhilarated, muse-driven creativity, like almost like you've been freed to give birth to something as you approach Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday in particular. And Jupiter supports this from the 8th house. And there's a money luck factor here. Venus is a goddess of money in a money winning, money luck house. And so you may indeed experience a tremendous bolt of money luck on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday. Tell me more about that. I have to go faster. I've got that meeting coming up in 10 minutes. Sagittarius is a malefic enclosure of Venus last seen with Neptune and the North Node in your 4th house in 1858. This time around, however, we have 4th house matters, which is home, property, land, and real estate, where you have to break free. Something is holding you back. Now, sometimes you can be break free of where you live. I don't like my neighbors. I don't like my home. I don't like my home country. You might want to break free and bust out in some way. North Node, Rahu, means the foreigner or foreign lands or foreign people. Is there any possibility that you want to take a break from home to go somewhere off in a foreign place? Yet the malefic constriction here that puts Venus between a rock and a hard place, ongoing all week, finally busts out on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday at the end of this week. And that's where whatever felt hard feels positive now. And anything to do with like property, homeland, and real estate sales, purchases, and even rentals can also suddenly have a breakthrough vibration on the weekend. I wish you the best of luck with that. And also significant others in your life, including marriage type partners, may be involved in some of this tension you're feeling before the break free on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising sign. So what you see here is 3rd house, kitchen drawer, everything, 3rd house matters. But this is important. This is indeed a house where you deal with people, your younger sibling, your neighbors, your aunts, uncles, cousins. And there's a Venus stuck here in a way that she hasn't felt since 1858. So what wants to happen is you want to change, expand, or grow your relationship with your neighbors, your aunts, uncles, cousins, or your neighborhood. You want to grow and expand your connection to creative projects like that involve writing or communicating, marketing, and selling. This is a place of trips and short distance travel, most likely domestically, and there's a constriction or a constraint there as well. So whatever is constraining you here wants to bust free, bust out. And you may feel in this particular situation that you might have to bite your tongue, or the pleasures you're trying to have out in the bar with friends and out in neighborhood walks, or the events in the local neighborhood or in the online world can feel challenging. Your online social media platforms are here, and normally you'd be doing great with Venus here, exalted, North Node expanding your social media reach, but Saturn says hard, Neptune says unrealistic. Maybe North Node says expand it all, make it louder. Look for Friday, but mostly Saturday, Sunday, Monday, where you feel this malefic enclosure break free. And you could find yourself suddenly celebrating a breakthrough in a writing project, a social media event, or social media thing, that kind of stuff. And also, don't forget, this is a travel house. So you thought you're going to take a trip, and all of a sudden there's something like, passport problem, or some kind of issue with the airplane, or the flights are delayed, or there's some constriction, and then boom, it all breaks out and free on the weekend into Monday. All right. So Aquarius, I'm one of you. This is a quickie, guys. I'm trying to get this all ready to go away. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising. First off, you are going to experience a money story, most likely, or a food style story like alcohol and weed and gluten and ice cream and things you put in your face, all that stuff. Now, it's not always bad. Venus got between this Saturn and North Node enclosure on February the 20th. And that can just January the 20th. And that can simply mean constraining your food style. So I've been more serious about, my AIP protocol diet. And I haven't had any wine since this happened. So for me, the malefic enclosure in the house of what you put in your mouth, I'm an Aquarius rising, is literally just, I restricted my diet, right? So you may have chosen to do that. That's all. And then you may be busting out, right? Going, I'm gonna try everything. Woo, look at me. I'm gonna eat the ice cream again. I'm gonna have some Dom Perignon or something. And that would be happening on the weekend, right? Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Also money and making money and earning money. And this is where it might feel really constrained, like maybe you're trying to reserve and not spend, because Venus loves to spend on her pleasures here and she's exalted. And you're like, wait a minute, maybe not. I'm gonna pull back a bit. I'm gonna think about that. And Jupiter is over there in the money luck house, by the way. I just bought a lottery ticket today for 22 million. You could actually get some kind of breakthrough with winning a lottery too on February 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Okay. That's another way that could show up. Yay, you won the lottery. I'm not kidding you. That could definitely happen. But in the meantime, know that your feeling of kind of having to be constricted or conservative or not, buy the luxury thing or something, that could definitely be a story, will shift dramatically and in a once in a lifetime way, like not seen since 1858. And you'll break through that energy of constriction on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Pisces, sun, moon, and rising sign. So beautiful end of day sky out there. It's pink and blue and it's pretty and it's cold in Vancouver. It's having sunny weather. When it's sunny in a rainforest, it means it's cold out there. We're having a cold time. So Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. I don't know if I should show this to you. Of all the things I should show Pisces, Pisces. Oops, lost my mic. Did I get the mic back? I hope so. Anyway, I don't know if you guys can see the sky. It's all pink. Pisces, this is your story. I should have started with you. Because no, you haven't lived through this story because you weren't alive in 1858 in this body and in this form, right? So to have Venus here, and especially the end of February, a big pile up of a perfect stellium at the end of February here is rare. And it's a lot of energy that's coming through to you, as you, through you, by you, your sun, your career, your moon, your home, and your nest, and your feelings, and your ascendant, everything about you. And in that regard, this is important. So I'm going to try not to rush through you as best I can. I've got 8 minutes left. You're going to find yourself feeling in a tremendous way like you are entering mystical, magical, new territory. You are coming into something that is visionary, is deeply and highly spiritual. It's opening up possibilities of seeing yourself and the world through a new set of lenses that aren't just rose-colored, but also are truly magical and embed a deeper level of understanding about the nature of reality. Because Neptune and Saturn are about making that illusion delusion concrete, and Jupiter, wisdom, knowledge, and truth, witnesses the whole thing. This is not just about a fleeting moment. This is coming back in April. This is coming back at the end of April. And this is also the best you can say is that the Venus action is close to 2017, so March, April, May. So we've got overlapping rarities here. And I think for you, I want to encourage you to look at anything that feels stuck for you in your life, anything, your relationship, your home, your pet, your kids, your career. If it does feel stuck and may have started to feel stuck or difficult or constrained back since January 20th, that something magical will happen when she breaks free and breaks through. And again, Saturday, Sunday, Monday is a big hallelujah moment. It's definitely rainbows and unicorns, or rainbows after a time of constriction. It could be any part of your life, your physical body, your head, your face, your diet, your health, your money, your friends, your siblings, your neighbors. The whole of the gamut of it is up for grabs here. One thing with this is that Mars is being very supportive, but go back to October and go back to romance, pleasure, fun, play, entrepreneurial business, maybe even your own children and things that were going on in October with them, because there's kind of a Martian collusion here to go back to events that were October-ish and this energy of breaking free and breaking through for yourself. So I don't even know where to begin with you, because if you use that Neptune right and that Venus-Neptune triple conjunction that you're seeing right here, right, on February 2nd, Sunday, I want you to tell me in the comments what the hell that once in a lifetime event is. Even when we go to 1858, it wasn't a triple perfect conjunction on the Sabian symbol for a prism, which is one white light fractures into many hues, right? There's something so enchanting about this energy for you. I have no idea what it is. I do not know. There's a mini grand trine forming here on Sunday with Jupiter and the moon. It's going to only last on Sunday, really, and a bunch of stuff in the Akashic records for you. So ancestral healing, Akashic records healing, past life healing, breakthroughs around financial security and issues to do with money and self-worth, especially issues to do with mother and maybe no, it's mother and maybe father, because Jupiter rules the house of the father, and some real intense breakthroughs. Now, just because, again, you are the best and the bestest, so looking forward to hearing how this breakthrough works for you. Look at this sky. I don't know if I can do this because I got a mic attached. Hang on. I don't know. Can you see how pink this is? Isn't that getting to be beautiful? Oh my goodness. Sort of showing it to you, right? Pisces. That's what I got for you. Let me know how it goes, and I'll see you in the next video. Now I've got people coming into my room, and I need to tell them to come back. Okay. Bye, guys.